Alright, today I'm going to show you a Cullman Coca Cola bottle. Kind of a little bit of a heartbreaker, as it's not much of one. It's supposed to look like that right there. But this is it's a starter piece for me. A lot of people don't like the broke bottles. If I collect it, I love to have an example of them. So people give them to me. It's like, hey, I dug this, or I found this, it's broke, I don't want it. I know you do broke, and so they give them to me. I got some really nice examples through friendship of bottle collecting. So this is a Cullman, and with a little bit of research, I found out that Cullman had a 1915. A 1915 would have November 16th, 1915 on it. And they had a 1923, which would have December 25th, 1923 on it. And not being able to tell, because it's so broke so far down, I don't know which one it is. But it's a nice example to have a Cullman Coke in my Coke collection. It's a nice example. At least I have proof of that it does exist. So what we're going to do, we're going to try to date this a little better. And we know we only have these two bottles. So in that, we see 1915 style was between 1916 and 1928. 1923 style was between 1924 and 1938. So knowing that, we know this bottle dates from roughly 1916 to 1938, which is not a bad year. I mean, just basic research on that. But we can go in there a little deeper, and maybe we can zone it down just a little more. So we can look at it. Now, most of these bottles had glass makers on them. So now those glass makers could have been anywhere on here. There's none on the base, which is common for the older ones. They wouldn't have been here. They would have been on the heel here. So, and the heel here has a lot of crate wear. So us finding it is going to be lucky. And as I said, we don't see anything. Oh, there's maybe a 7. Okay. Let's put that on there with a 7 and a question mark. Okay. Pick it back up. I had a bad chip here, so that's going to losing a lot of the data there that I may need. Well, there's a root, so root. And then maybe something elf in, maybe? Let's call it that. I feel like there's something there, so we're gonna go elf in. So, but still that could be a, so that 1, a 7 here could be, just with educated guess based on the data here, that could be a 17, 27, or a 37. Because all those fit in the time frame of, oh, I forgot the 2, of those 2 bottles there. So we know that. Now we'll move on. I don't know what this is, so we'll put a big question mark right there because I'm not sure what those marks mean at this time. Now we can look here, root. Root was a glass company from about 1909 to 1930. But the name was used till 1932. Okay? So, now, this date here right here, it's way too earlier than the hobble skirt. So we're going to go on and say the hobble skirt. We're going to use the hobble skirt date right here. And we're going to say that the bottle, we know that the name was still used in 1932. Now, I'm still unsure about this 7. So we're just going to kind of leave it where it's at. But if it was me, if I was guessing, okay, so we know, well, we can leave it rolling, go ahead. We see the 7, and the company went out of business 32. So if we use that, we're just saying that's a date code. 37 would be too old for the Root Company. So this bottle maybe is a 17 or a 27. Both are in the range of the 1915. But this one here could be a 1923. So it's all by theory here, by general just guessing. But what I would say, I think that since these dates would be closer to a 1915 style bottle up here, I would guess that if I was a guessing man, I'd say it's a 1915 bottle. Just a guess. Because the odds would be better in my favor, 2-1. But, beside all of that, I know for a fact that bottle was made between 1916 and 1932. So that kind of cuts it down to 16, 32, 16 years gap of that bottle. So I got a 16-year gap that bottle was produced based on the information on this broke bottle. So there is what I'm going to say is a 1915, which would look like this. Could be wrong, but just guessing. 1915 bottle made from Cullman, made between the years. So, but I know for a fact that this Coke bottle was made for Cullman Coca Cola from 1916 to 1932. So if I went to go into the Cullman Library and or the archives and started looking for Coke plants, I would know that I needed to look up newspapers and microfilm and all from 1916 to 1932, and that bottle would fit in that age range, so they should be a Coke plant listed. So I know that's a long way around looking, a lot of formulas looking at it, but it's always nice to know if you find broke pieces, sometimes how to date them. Cokes are real simple. So Cullman from 1916 to 1932, so kind of a short. So there's that, and hopefully one day I'll get a at least a larger piece of a Cullman bottle and upgraded my collection. And then pass this along to someone who likes examples like I do. Thanks for watching, and tune in and subscribe for some more videos on soda bottles, mostly Alabama. Thanks.